The Green Lantern Corps are a powerful organization tasked by the Guardians of the Universe to police space. They rely on rings which draw upon the willpower of their user in order to fight crime and maintain order. However, other domains of similar power exist in the universe, including an entity which embodies fear, called Parallax. For thousands of years, the Guardians had kept Parallax imprisoned on their home, the planet Oa. Sinestro, once the greatest Green Lantern of them all, was eventually expelled from their ranks and banished to an antimatter universe, an inverse inflection of the main reality that existed at the time. When he returned, he had a newly forged yellow power ring, which relied on the energies of fear over willpower. Sinestro woke Parallax, and together they forged a new corps, entirely dedicated to Sinestro. On the planet Vorn in Sector 674, an alien named Arkillough was a powerful warrior and savage carnivore who had come to be feared throughout his entire home sector. When Sinestro unleashed the yellow rings on the universe, Arkillough was one of the first the rings had chosen. Arkillough of the planet Vorn, you have the ability to instill great fear. Welcome to the Sinestro Corps. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out part 1 of my origins and bio for Arkillough. We'll get to the video in just a second, but before we do, if you want to see part 2 of this video when it comes out, as well as the rest of my favorite characters from each of the Lantern Corps and the origins and bio behind them, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Subscription is the easiest way to make sure that you are seeing all of our videos, especially if you hit that bell thing and you actually get notifications when videos come out. There's a child crying over there, I don't know if you can hear that, but anyways, also if you want to support us in making more videos and cool content, be sure to check out our Patreon page, the link to which you can find in the video description below. Thanks again for watching, and enjoy the rest of the video. Arkillough was tasked with enslaving people from the planet Quard of the antimatter universe, forcing these weaponers to create more yellow rings for Sinestro's then upcoming war against the Green Lanterns. These rings would work much like a Green Lantern ring, able to grant the user flight, a protective force field, and the ability to create powerful weapons out of energy based on the fear one can cause in others. These rings draw from a limited charge that can only be restored using a yellow power battery. The only other difference between a yellow and green ring is that Quardian rings lose all power in the presence of a blue lantern ring, which draws its powers from hope. On Quard, Arkillough was a cruel slave master, willing to kill anybody who didn't work fast enough in order to make an example of them to the others. Arkillough quickly grows up in the ranks of the Sinestro Corps, becoming their drill sergeant. He was tasked with training recruits and serving as a close subordinate of Sinestro himself, in a similar role to that of Killough of the Green Lanterns. The two aliens are both from the same sector, and their species are thought to be related in some form based on their similar physical appearance and natural abilities. These similarities would cement into a wholesale rivalry when Arkillough battled Killough during the war between the Green and Yellow Lantern Corps. They fought on the sentient planet known as Mogo, an attack staged by the Yellow Lanterns using the sentient city of Ranks, and the two later battled again on the Earth itself. Killough beat Arkillough in the second fight, with the latter losing a finger and his original power ring after Killough dropped an aircraft carrier on the Yellow Lantern. Though, thanks to the reptilian nature of Arkillow's species, that finger would later grow back, and he managed to get another yellow ring. The Sinestro Corps lost the war against the Green Lanterns, with Arkillough returning to Korugar to regroup with the surviving Yellow Lanterns, while Sinestro was arrested and the other major players in the Yellow Lantern ranks were defeated or destroyed. On Korugar, Arkillough got in an argument with a powerful alien called Mongol, who attempted to take over the now disorganized Sinestro Corps. Arkillow's tongue was ripped out in this battle, and the Yellow Lantern was forced to use his ring to speak for him from then on. Reluctantly, Arkillough followed Mongol's rule, participating on an attack on a planet called Daxa. though the Yellow Lantern would never forgive Mongol for disfiguring him, and was pleased to see that the warlord's rule over the Sinestro Corps was short-lived. Sinestro managed to leave captivity and reclaim the Yellow Lanterns for himself, and his leadership would be needed, for the Blackest Night had begun. The entire emotional spectrum was forced to work together in order to defeat the newly forged Black Lanterns, a powerful corps that represented death. Arkillo and the Yellow Lanterns were among those troops that faced off against the Black Lanterns, and he was a part of a battle against the Anti-Monitor, a deadly being once allied with the Yellow Lanterns that had been forcibly drawn into the ranks of the dead. Ultimately, the heroes of Earth succeeded in defeating the Black Lanterns and their Dark Master, a sinister being called Necron. Arkillo remained on Sinestro's homeworld of Korugar following this event. A truce was established with the Green Lanterns, which Arkillo dutifully upheld under orders from Sinestro. He was among the Yellow Lanterns sent by Sinestro to confront the Weaponer of Quard, after he was causing problems in the days following the Blackest Night. This once again brought the Yellow Lanterns in conflict with the Green Lanterns, threatening the newly formed truce. But in the end, Sinestro managed to recruit the Weaponer into the Sinestro Corps, and the truce was begrudgingly upheld by both the Green and Yellow Lantern Corps. At some point after this, Sinestro went missing, having secretly been made a Green Lantern once again by the Guardians. Arkillo ran the Corps in his stead, though the Yellow Lanterns enslaved Korugar and were unaware of Sinestro's status. When a ring abandoned a Yellow Lantern for no apparent reason, killing the user in the process, Arkillo followed the ring to Earth in order to investigate. He discovered the ring had found a Green Lantern named Kyle Rayner, along with a ring from every other corps of the emotional spectrum. With representatives from each of the Lantern Corps having also come to investigate, Arkillo, initially hostile to this gathered group, reluctantly joined them as a team called the New Guardians in order to find out what was going on. They asked the Guardians of the Universe about this, only to be attacked by these powerful beings. The New Guardians were saved by Larfleeze, the only Orange Lantern in the universe who channels the power of greed. Following this battle, Arkillo's tongue was restored by St. Walker of the Blue Lantern Corps, and from this moment on, Arkillo considered St. Walker a friend, stepping in to protect him during later battles, while the Yellow Lantern began opening up to the team as a whole, clearly coming to value them as friends and allies in spite of being members of opposing corps. Larfleeze had the New Guardians confront a being named Invictus, and the team worked together to end this threat that was being posed against them and billions of innocent lives. They were unable to directly overcome the tremendous powers of this angel-like being, and instead agreed to kill Larfleeze on behalf of Invictus, though the leader of the New Guardians, Kyle Rayner, had no intention of actually fulfilling this promise. When they returned from this mission, Arkillo was alarmed to discover that the Sinestro Corps had fallen apart in his absence. Sinestro had betrayed them, and with Hal Jordan, they destroyed the central power battery of the Yellow Lanterns, and the organization had fallen into disarray. Fortunately for the alien, Arkillo managed to obtain his own power battery and ring from the Weaponer on Korugar. Now able to act as an independent Yellow Lantern, Arkillo rejoined the New Guardians and helped them battle against a powerful, hostile alien force called the Reach. When they later questioned Larfleeze, Agent Orange attacked the New Guardians, only for Invictus to arrive. Larfleeze and the New Guardians were forced to enter into an alliance to defeat this angel once and for all. However, during all of this, Arkillo and the other New Guardians learned their team was formed thanks to a Guardian of the Universe named Sade tricking the entire team. Disgusted at this manipulation, the group disbanded. Arkillo would quickly rejoin a new version of it shortly after in order to deal with the rest of the Guardians of the Universe, who had become increasingly corrupt. Kyle Rayner was seeking to master all the emotions in the Lantern spectrum, and Arkillo assisted Kyle in wielding the powers of fear, while Kyle, in turn, helped the Yellow Lantern master his new and unique ring, then the sole remaining yellow power ring in the universe. With the other New Guardians, Arkillo also worked to recruit allies, only to become involved with a Green Lantern working deep undercover named Jedediah Call, who was captured by a game show that features bounty hunters. The New Guardians narrowly escaped being captured themselves, and were forced to leave Jedediah behind. In an effort to control all life in the universe and instill their order on others, The Guardians of the Universe unleashed powerful beings called the Third Army, followed by the first ever lantern named Volthoom. Arkillough was one of many lanterns involved in this conflict, working at the side of the new Guardians to battle the sinister Third Army, and was there when Kyle Rayner first became a White Lantern after he finally harnessed all the emotions of light. In the war against Volthoom, Korugar was destroyed by the powerful First Lantern. Enraged at the destruction of his home and most of his people, Sinestro managed to obtain another yellow ring, reformed his core, took control of Parallax, and personally took revenge against the Guardians of the Universe, violently killing all but a few of them. Sinestro saved one Guardian for a creator of the Red Lanterns, Atrocitus. The mighty wielder of rage had many reasons to hate the Guardians, and Arkillough was tasked with personally informing Atrocitus of Sinestro's gift. In the aftermath of this event, Arkillough rejoined the Sinestro Corps and left the new Guardians behind, though it appears the team would still care for one another to a degree in the years that would follow. Kyle, for example, would later make a painting of Arkillough and other new Guardians, and appears to remember his time working with them fondly. Meanwhile, Sinestro had once again abandoned his Corps. Arkillough was forced to take over the newly reformed Sinestro Corps, manufacturing power rings by the hundreds and giving them out freely to any who would serve him. Sinestro only returned at the behest of one of his followers, a woman named Lysa, and at first Arkillough was against the return of the man he once so loyally served, viewing Sinestro as one who abandoned the Yellow Lanterns time and time again, and not worthy of their trust. Nevertheless, Thal Sinestro, still empowered and in complete control of Parallax, easily and badly beat Arkillough and his followers. Securing his control over the Corps he had created, the Yellow Lantern was treated by the Green Lantern named Soranik, Sinestro's daughter, and he quickly fell back into line under Sinestro's rule. The prison planet called Necropolis was repurposed as the new Yellow Lantern homeworld, and renamed New Korugar. Under Sinestro's orders, Arkillough was involved in a battle against new gods, who had taken an interest in the power of the Lantern Corps for use against the powerful villain known as Darkseid. The Yellow Lanterns first became involved in this conflict when a new god named Becca attacked New Korugar. She cut off Arkillow's fingers during this battle and took his yellow power ring, which Sinestro had to later once again replace. Arkillough was then dispatched when the same new gods, led by Becca, attacked the Indigo tribe, though in secret, Sinestro was simply using this mission as an excuse to reduce the numbers of Arkillow's new recruits, and ensure that only the strong among them survived. Arkillough and his best followers survived the battle, rescuing Green Lanterns and Indigo tribe members in the process. In the aftermath, Sinestro attempted to negotiate an agreement with the Green Lanterns and the Indigo tribe to deal with these new gods. During this, Arkillough got in a fight with some Green Lanterns, defending Soranik as an ambassador from the Green Lanterns to the Sinestro Corps, when the Green Lanterns started viewing her as a traitor after she began so closely working with her father. Sinestro and the Green Lantern John Stewart were able to put an end to this brawl. The New Gods incident was eventually resolved without Arkillow's direct involvement, while Becca, much to Arkillow's dismay, was recruited into the Sinestro Corps, in spite of her so badly wounding him. Sinestro was then contacted by surviving people of Korugar, asking for help somewhere out in space. Arkillough and the others tracked this message down with Sinestro, only to find a number of Korugarian corpses. In response, Arkillough and all but Sinestro and Lysa were sent back to New Korugar to bury the bodies and prepare for war against an old enemy. Sinestro and Lysa scouted out this culprit, who was none other than Mongol, who Sinestro defeated himself in a brutal battle. However, upon this victory, Sinestro was attacked by a team of powerful beings called the Apex League. Mongol and the Apex League, empowered by a strange cult known as the Paling, badly beat Sinestro down, capturing him and Lysa. Arkillough and the others were contacted by Sinestro before their capture, and the Yellow Lanterns attacked Mongol's home called Warworld in force. Arkillough fought bravely against Mongol's forces and the Apex League, even squaring off against Mongol himself. The Yellow Lantern was eager to get his revenge against Mongol for their earlier conflict, but Mongol proved a powerful adversary. Once Sinestro was freed, the Yellow Lanterns were able to defeat Mongol and seize Warworld for themselves. And it was at that moment that the Green Lanterns completely disappeared from this universe.